Nigeria is a very funny country, you know, but really, Nigerians should know who is with them. Nigerians should know that we are the ones in opposition and not these politicians, because I watched with amusement the recent gathering, you know, of politicians and Atiku and co issuing press statement. Anyway, thanks to President Tinubu for bringing opposition together. Maybe for once they'll be serious, but really, Nigerians should know who is with them and who is not with them, because they always align with Nigerians, you know, when they are in opposition, and then when they are not in opposition, they do the same thing that they once condemned. We saw President Bola Tinubu, as opposition leader, how he condemned Goodluck Jonathan state of emergency declaration, even though the democratic institutions were not suspended. He called it demonic. But today, he has done worse than that. And so Atiku also was a vice president under General Chief Olusegun Obasanjo when he declared a state of emergency in Plateau and suspended the democratic structure. Also, as vice president, Obasanjo and Atiku declared a state of emergency in Ekiti and suspended the democratic structure. We didn't hear Atiku's voice then. So all these voices that we are hearing now, so I will not be deceived that, yes, all of a sudden he's a Democrat. It is because he's in opposition. If he were the number one person today, I know that he will certainly do the same thing. So I'm not carried away. I know that all of these people, they are just playing politics with us. So that is why, for me, I always consistently stand on the side of the law, irrespective of who it's favor or who is against. And so if Tinubu were the one in opposition today, you will see him issuing the press statement and press releases also. I was among the first persons that condemned the declaration of state of emergency in Rivers State, because I have searched the entire gamut of our constitution, and there is nowhere in that law where the provisions of the position of a state of what do you call a sole administrator was made, and also there is nowhere where they empowers the president to appoint a sole administrator or to suspend a democratically elected government. And also, I draw wisdom and strength from the recent Supreme Court judgment of the Attorney General of the Federation and the Attorney General of the 36 states of the Federation. Now, them carried this matter go court. They were the one that went to court. And the court ruled in his wisdom that under no circumstances can a governor suspend a democratically elected local government officers and appoint caretaker or administrator. So by extension, what the Supreme Court has said is that under any guise, a president cannot sack a democratically elected governor or state house of assembly. So that is my position, and that remains my position. The fact that all of a sudden you see Atiku and co aligning with it, I do not believe that they are truly, from their hearts of hearts, aligning with that position. And if you read Chief Femi Falana's position, it's been consistent right from Plateau time until date. So positions like that, I will completely respect, not all these modern day politicians. And I also have consistently, vociferously condemned the actions of Governor Fubara when he demolished the State House of Assembly, when he also failed to recognize the 27 lawmakers. I was one of those also that had said that Section 109 is not self-executory, that you will need a pronouncement. And until that pronouncement is done, that you cannot derecognize these members. And you can't carry on with just 4 members and presentation of budget to them. I even also recommended the sacking of his Attorney General after the Supreme Court made that gave that judgment. But with the Supreme Court judgment, I also believed that normalcy was beginning to return to Rivers State, because the Supreme Court had interpreted the law and set the record straight, and the governor had accepted the judgment and has reached out to the House of Assembly members. The House of Assembly members also have sat and requested, appearance of certain persons from the state electoral body to appear before them. And 3 members, I'm aware, appeared. And so normalcy was beginning to return. But I also want to condemn the statement credited to Governor Fubara that Rivers youth should calm down and will tell them where to deploy. Such statement was a reckless statement and shouldn't come from a governor. And I believe that, certainly I might be wrong, his opponent capitalized on that statement and started deploying mayhem and insecurity to give the federal government the impression that it is boys from Fubara's area or side that were doing it. Meanwhile, it wasn't this insecurity or this bomb blast did not come from the Joango. It actually happened in the Ogoni land. And so all of these politics, I believe that such statement, if he had condemned all these things or he didn't make those statements, there wouldn't have been any opportunity for his opponents to latch onto that. So, but that said, I wasn't expecting anything from the Senate of the or the House of Rep, but I just expected to see people like Oguchinyere, raise their voice against it. But I didn't see him. He didn't come to the party, or maybe he was there. I didn't see him because he was one of those that have been issuing statements and addressing the press. But on the day that Fubara needed him and others, oh boy, I will not see them. So that's politics for you. So Nigerians should also know my sense. But saying this out, the Nigerians should also know that all these politicians making statements today, now power that they look for, the day they enter there, they will also be doing the same thing. They will make so much noise. What they once condemned, they will do. What they once did, they will condemn. So it's all politics that you see play. But for Nigerians, you should truly know that we are the ones in opposition and not the politicians. That's really my sense for saying all of this. And I also agree, like some people have said. So it is like, politicians, they went to loot after looting the ballot, and then now sharing becomes a problem. And that's why you see National Assembly saying they want to set up committee to reconcile Wike and Fubara, or reconcile the House of Assembly and Fubara. Who is reconciling the ordinary Nigeria with the hunger in the land? Who is reconciling the ordinary Nigeria with the scarcity of resources? Who is reconciling us? And yet, we will set up a committee to reconcile two people, two Godfather and Godson. Anyway, now so we say, until we realize that we are the ones in opposition, nobody will set up committee to reconcile us. Thank you.